Welcome to my channel. Listen carefully because this story may change the way you see your own dreams. My name is Ayan. I was 17 years old when this story began. I lived in a small town where big dreams sounded strange to people. My dream was simple but powerful. I wanted to speak English confidently. I wanted to share ideas with the world. I wanted to help people learn through stories. But the truth was painful. My English was very weak. When I tried to speak, people laughed. My classmates smiled in a way that hurt my heart. Some said, "Your English is broken." Others said, "You will never speak well." Every word felt like a stone hitting my confidence. At night, I sat alone with my notebook. I wrote simple sentences again and again. Sometimes they were wrong, sometimes they made no sense. Still, I kept writing. One evening, my younger sister sat beside me. She looked at my messy notebook and smiled. She said something simple but powerful. She said, "If you practice every day, one day people will listen." That small sentence stayed in my mind all night. The next day, something surprising happened. My English teacher noticed my notebook. He did not laugh. Instead, he asked, "Do you really want to improve?" I nodded slowly. He smiled and said, "Good, because improvement always starts with courage." That moment felt small, but it changed something deep inside me. I did not know it yet, but this was the first step of a journey that would test my patience, break my confidence, and slowly build a stronger version of me. Chapter 2. The next morning, I woke up earlier than usual. My mind was full of thoughts. My teacher's words kept repeating in my head. Improvement starts with courage. I decided to take the first real step. I opened my notebook and wrote 10 simple sentences in English. They were not perfect. Some grammar was wrong, some words were strange, but I finished them. That small action felt like a victory. Later that day, I met my English teacher again. His name was Mr. Rahman. He looked at my sentences carefully. I expected him to correct everything. Instead, he smiled and said, "Good start. Mistakes mean you are trying." Those words surprised me. No one had ever praised my English before. Mr. Rahman then gave me a simple challenge. He said, "Write 10 sentences every day. Speak 1 minute of English every day. Do not skip a single day." It sounded easy at first, but the first week was very hard. My tongue felt heavy when I spoke. I forgot words again and again. Sometimes I felt embarrassed even when I practiced alone. One evening, my best friend Hamza heard me speaking English to myself. He laughed loudly. For a moment, my heart broke again. I almost stopped speaking, but then I remembered my sister's words and my teacher's smile. That night, I practiced again. Slowly, something started to change. My sentences became clearer. My mind began to think in English for small moments. They were tiny steps, but they felt powerful. I realized something important. Progress does not come in one big moment. It comes in quiet, daily practice that no one else sees. Chapter 3. 3 months passed. My daily practice became a habit. I wrote sentences every day. I spoke to myself in front of a mirror. Sometimes I even recorded my voice on my phone. When I listened to those recordings, I noticed my mistakes. At first, it felt uncomfortable, but slowly it helped me improve. One day, Mr. Rahman gave our class a speaking activity. Each student had to speak English for 2 minutes in front of everyone. My heart started beating very fast. This was my biggest fear. Speaking alone was easy. Speaking in front of others was terrifying. When my turn came, my hands were shaking. I started speaking slowly. The first few sentences were clear. Then suddenly my mind went blank. I forgot simple words. Some students started whispering. A few laughed quietly. My confidence collapsed in that moment. I stopped speaking and sat down quickly. That evening, I felt completely defeated. I looked at my notebook and thought about quitting. Maybe people were right. maybe English was not for me. My father noticed my silence during dinner. He asked what happened. I told him everything. He listened patiently and then said something that surprised me. He said, "When I first started my job, I failed many times. But every failure taught me something." His calm voice helped me breathe again. Later that night, I received a message from Mr. Rahman. He wrote only one sentence: "Brave people fail in public but return stronger." I read that line many times. Slowly, my disappointment turned into determination. I opened my notebook again and started writing new sentences for tomorrow. Chapter 4. After that difficult day, I made a promise to myself. I would not run away from my weakness. I would face it every day. My routine became stronger. Every morning, I read a short English story aloud. My voice sounded strange at first, but I continued. Every afternoon, I wrote a small paragraph in my notebook. At night, I practiced speaking for 5 minutes in front of the mirror. Some days I felt confident. Other days I felt tired and frustrated, but I never skipped practice. One evening, Mr. Rahman introduced me to something new. He said, "Start thinking in English, not only speaking." At first, I did not understand what he meant. Then he gave an example. He told me to describe simple things in English inside my mind. The sky is blue, the road is long, the shop is busy. This small exercise changed everything. Slowly, my brain started forming English sentences naturally. My younger sister became my first listener. Every night, she asked me to tell a short story in English. Sometimes she laughed at my funny mistakes, but she always clapped at the end. Those moments made learning enjoyable. Weeks passed. My vocabulary grew. My confidence grew slowly, too. One day, Hamza heard me speaking again. This time, he did not laugh. He looked surprised and said, "Your English sounds better now." That simple comment felt like a reward for months of effort. I realized something powerful in that moment. Real improvement happens quietly. While others are sleeping, doubting, or laughing, your daily practice is building a stronger version of you. Chapter 5. 1 year after I started practicing seriously, something unexpected happened. Our school announced an English storytelling competition. Students from many classes could participate. The winner would represent the school in a city event. When I heard the announcement, my heart felt two different emotions. One was excitement, the other was fear. I remembered my failed speaking attempt months ago. That memory still lived inside me. For a moment, I thought about staying silent, but then I imagined what would happen if I never tried again. That thought pushed me forward. I wrote my name on the participation list. Mr. Rahman noticed it and smiled proudly. For the next 2 weeks, he helped me prepare a short story. We practiced pronunciation, pauses, and confidence. Every day after school, I stood in the empty classroom and practiced speaking. My sister listened at home. My father encouraged me with small smiles. Even Hamza started supporting me. Finally, the competition day arrived. The hall was full of students and teachers. My heart was beating loudly again. But this time, something was different. I took a deep breath and remembered my long journey. When I started speaking, my voice was calm. The sentences flowed more naturally than before. I told my story with emotion and clear words. When I finished, the room became silent for a second. Then people started clapping. That sound felt unbelievable. I did not win first place that day. I won second place. But the real victory was something deeper. I proved to myself that slow progress and daily practice truly work. Chapter 6. Looking back now, I understand something very important about that journey. Improving English was not only about language, it was about patience, courage, and belief. When I first started, my sentences were broken. My confidence was even more broken. People laughed. I failed in front of others. I doubted myself many times. But every small effort slowly built a stronger version of me. My notebook filled with hundreds of sentences. My voice recordings showed clear progress. My fear slowly turned into confidence. Today, I can speak English much better than before. I can share ideas. I can tell stories. But the most valuable lesson is not about grammar or vocabulary. The real lesson is about persistence. Dreams do not grow in comfort. They grow through practice, mistakes, and patience. If you are learning English right now, you may feel the same struggle I felt. Maybe people laugh at your pronunciation. Maybe your sentences feel weak. Maybe you feel embarrassed when speaking. But remember this truth. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. Improvement is slow, but it is real. If you practice every day, your future self will thank you. So start today. Speak even if your voice shakes. Write even if your sentences are imperfect. Read even if you understand only a little. Small daily effort creates big change over time. Believe in yourself, work hard, stay patient, and never give up on your dream. Your journey can inspire someone else tomorrow.